Okay, let's do this. Always dropping my phone. Always dropping it. Love my thing that protects it. I would be in trouble without it. Oh my god, would I be in trouble? So much trouble. Mono today. Just cause, you know what else I think? Where's that noise come from? Is that me? It's not me, right? You know, I just realized I didn't bring socks. Yeah. I mean, I have some, but they are not my favorite. I have to clean. It's like I can either train or clean. I can't do both because I have a job. I don't care what you say. It's the truth. I promise you. Oh wait, there they are. My stinky socks. Alright. Wait, did I lock the door? Nothing fancy today. Just going for a ride. A nice, simple ride. Yesterday was a hard day. Hard-ish day. I need to split my training. I need to double it up. I'm gonna go 2 a day for a while. Because I have to get fit before I go into all these surgeries. I have to do all these surgeries for my mouth, and it's gonna kill my fitness. Oh my god, it's gonna totally kill it. So, because I won't be able to breathe. Gotta do the nose job. It's gonna make it, yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna be out for that. You know? Not fun. Yeah, I just got back from the oral surgeon's office. Oh. $11,000 that I have to pay up front, even though it's not my fault. So I either have to wait and hope it covers it and hope the insurance, fight with the insurance company to make sure to get the right amount. If I were to actually go get the service and then go to the insurance company, they'd be like, no, we're not paying for that. Dude, American insurance is so screwed up. American healthcare, it is so ridiculously bad. It's so fucked up. My dentist is stopping insurance. He's not going to take any insurance next year because insurance keeps stipping him over. He's like, fuck this. I don't have to do this. I can cater to rich people who have money to pay out of pocket. So that's what he's doing. Can you believe that? He's like, I'm not playing that game. I don't need to. It's just going to get worse. It's going to get worse, friends. was already bad, but it's just gonna get worse. I have to have 3 different surgeries related to my mouth, spread over 4 months. Each one I have to take about a week off. So I can't work while I'm doing the surgery because, I mean, I can, but she says, well, the drugs you're going to be on are going to make it hard for you to think and stuff, so don't plan anything big. Like, how am I supposed to work? Again, I was the victim here. Well, I suggest you get a personal attorney. Personal whatever attorney. And I'm like, okay, it costs as much as this entire procedure to just retain an attorney, let alone get them to represent me. Might as well just suck it up and pay the money if you have it, right? Dude, I'm telling you, the insurance in this country is shit. Shit. This it's so freaking bad. It is so freaking bad. It's like this country, I don't care every time everybody says how great America is, I'm like, you're full of shit. You're so full of shit. Tell me one thing that's great about this country. One. Tell me one thing that we are better at than anybody else. This country is shit. It was already shit, and now it's even going more to shit. And it just bothers me because I am the one who got hit by some dumbass in a car, and now I am the one who has to fight with insurance. And then the insurance is like, well, we're not going to pay anything until we know how much it is. And then, okay, well, how do I know how much it is? And the dentist even, the oral surgeon says, I don't even know whether I'm going to be able to put the implant in until I do the operation. So the dentist, the oral surgeon, can't tell me how much it's going to cost because he doesn't know, because he has to do the procedure in order to see if I have enough bone there to do the thing. But the insurance company says, no, you need to have all your stuff up. And then they're saying you have to pay up front to get the procedure. And then it's like a chicken and the egg thing. It's a chicken and the egg thing. Right? Because if I get the procedure done and he finds out then the insurance comes back and says, well, you didn't need that procedure. And I'm like, yeah, but I already paid the dentist. And they're like, well, you shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, well, how was I supposed to know? And the dentist couldn't have found out without doing the procedure. And you were going to pay up front for that. It's like literally a total scam. It would be illegal. It's fraud. It's straight up fraud is what it is. It's 100% fraud. It's like a shell game scam. Seriously, if someone were trying to run this kind of scam, like on the street someplace, they'd get picked up by the cops because it's so dishonest and illegal. And the insurance says, I asked her, I said, what if, yeah. I went to the insurance and then the insurance was like, well, I said, well, what happens if they decide something was wrong and it doesn't take it and they have to do it again? He goes, well, after we settled the case, we don't reopen it. I'm like, who made that rule? How am I supposed, it's so stupid. I could have this entire thing already started. I could have my surgery next week. And she's like, well, okay, so when will I have to pay the money? Well, we have this financing option if you want to do financing. I'm like, I don't need to fucking finance it. The insurance needs to pay it. Like, well, the insurance won't pay it until it's done. And then if you can't get it out, then you might as well hire a lawyer, and then they get a piece of it too. It'd be a new claim the second time around. Yep, it's a new claim. The moral of the story is don't get hurt in America. That's the moral of the story. I don't know what else to say. Be really careful. Take care of your fitness, because if you have to go, and then I'm reading like this stuff that says, you know, we can do the anesthesia. You know how much it costs? For every 15 minutes that they put me under, it costs $300. $300. Just to put me under? is going to cost over $2,000 for the procedure. Just the anesthesia. Just the anesthesia to put me under. $3,000. I paid $2,000 for this bike. And it's cheap. And then they're like, well, I can't get him to say whether I need implants or not for the bridge to take. He goes, well, that's your dentist's opinion. I'm like, okay, well, I need the dentist to say in black and white that I have to have this. It's the best possible thing for restitution so I can fight with the insurance. Guess who has to do the fighting? Me. The one who got hurt. The one who got hurt. I'm the one who has to go toe-to-toe or hire a fucking lawyer for my own money. Oh, I can't talk about this. I can't talk about it right now. I'm really pissed. And then I have to take the weeks off. I'll tell you what, any qualms I had about taking time off, I mean about getting pain and suffering money, you know. Meanwhile, we have our most busy quarter we've ever had, this first quarter. I just got told. I just got given 4 stories in Jira just today out of one-on-one. So I was given 4 stories into my Jira. They're watching us because we have a deadline at the end of the month. At the end of the month. At the same time that they just said, thank you so much, we saved over $30 million for this company. Here's your bonus. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna know tomorrow or the next day or something. Dude, America is shit. I don't care what anybody says. It has nothing to do with my love for this country and how beautiful it is and the basic principles, which apparently nobody's following anymore. Become the what can I get away with country. God, I hope not. Bite your tongue. Hopefully you jinxed me in a good way somehow. Hi. Hopefully, jinxed in a good way. Oh my God, that's a lot of lawn art just for Leprechaun Day. I just had to go out and go for a ride. It's insane. Meanwhile, my wife is like wondering if she should price her art pieces at $30,000 because other people have so much extra money that $5,000 for an art piece is nothing. Nothing. If you want to be taken seriously, you have to add $10,000 to your art. I'm not even kidding. Nobody will take you seriously if you charge anything under $5,000. Meanwhile, I mean, seriously, the entire cost of this procedure could be covered by one piece of art that some random rich banker asshole wants to collect. This country is fucking broken. It's fucking broken. I don't have anything against my wife or what she does, but it's very, very hard for me to listen to her talk about work. Because the things that they're worrying about are so trivial, they're so stupid in the eternal scheme of things. She's like, are you saying what I do is stupid? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the fact that your art has to exist. The only way it can exist is the rich assholes pay for it. Actually, they're not all assholes. Some of the rich people are very, very nice. They are. They're very benevolent. And a lot of them, it's not their fault they have lots of money. They were born into plantation money. I'm not even kidding. $30K for a beginner voice class. You know what's funny you said about that, Predator? One time I had a financial consultant offer his time because his kid was here, and we met. We had sushi, and you know what he said? He said you should triple your prices. I'm like, what are you talking about? If I triple my prices, most of the people here couldn't afford it. He's like, so? He literally said so. He's like, well, you can give the ones that you want a scholarship. I'm like, I don't want to do that. So now I have $60,000 worth of debt I'm still paying on from the company, from the American Dream, starting a company to teach tech because nobody's teaching it in school. The one thing good about all the only good thing about all the billionaire tech bros is that they know they can't do any of that. They can't make money. The billionaire tech bros can't make money without engineers. That's the only thing good from this whole fiasco. They know it. They know it. So they actually are predisposed to creating opportunities and giving money to engineers. Now they'll work them to the bone and fire them all and say they're worthless and all that. But at the end of the day, they still need engineers. That's why I always say, where's the blacksmith? Be the blacksmith. Because the blacksmith is always going to have money. Whether it's war or peace, whether it's swords or horseshoes. Yeah. My wife's calling me. She's trying to call me. I can't talk, honey. Yep, yeah, we definitely agree. All those people, all those kids that I prepared to work in the tech sector are now kicking ass and taking names. Because I taught them how to survive in this shitty economy. Be the blacksmith. Be the blacksmith. That's the book title. Be the blacksmith. It's like 2 pages. Learn tech, become indispensable to a tech company. Because those guys are running the country. Whether you like it or not, they're running the country now. She probably heard me talking about art. Yeah, she had a feeling. Look, I'm super happy for her, but she said that my wife has like misattributed my everyone else is an asshole mood to my cycling and being fit. The one time we had a strain on a relationship in the last 5 years was when I went out during the middle of a wine and dine gallery event and saw Kevin. And Kevin recited his poem about not being seen. How can I make them understand? He said, I can't make them understand. And that happened the same night that I was, everybody else was whining and dining and discussing $5,000 pieces of art. That's what happened. Is when I get my bike and I go outside. I mean, this bike trip, every single day on my bike trip, you see it. You see it, guys. You see the massive dichotomy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the neighborhood I'm in right now, right? Now you watch. When I start to come home and I go through Smithville, you don't have to be a genius to notice the difference. What separates these people? Why do these people get to live like this? Did they earn it? I promise you they didn't. I promise you, if we could knock on the door of every one of these people and open up their entire financial books, I guarantee you none of these people would deserve it. They wouldn't. They all were born into prosperity. It's generational wealth. And you go to Smithville, the halfway houses and stuff, people barbecuing outside. You look at their finances, and then you see why are they poor? It's just hard for me because I have to have a foot in both worlds, you know. Literally heard a gunshot in that neighborhood. Yeah. Right? The thing that's so funny is Antiquity is less than a mile away from there. Less than a mile. You know, with all that rich. It's just America for you. The thing that sucks is that we've accepted that that's normal now. And we can't do anything about it. I definitely have. You look at the buzzards circling. See that? What are the buzzards circling up there? They're looking for something. Waiting for me to die. There is a storm to the left. Hopefully it doesn't hit us. Pretty bad. Pretty bad storm. I might take the shortened route today because it's just a recovery day. Hey Jesse, what's up? I'm sorry, I'm just complaining about it. I just went to the oral surgeon for God knocked my teeth out. On stream, by the way. Watch, nobody knows what to do. There you go. There you go. I went to the oral surgeon. I'm just complaining about America. In my part of NC, gunshots happen every day. Yeah, people are out shooting gun bottles, whatever. Yeah. Yeah. Circling for teeth to eat. Yeah. I don't know. It's just, I feel like humanity can do better, but I don't feel like humanity is improving. You know? I know that sounds like a downer, but I really feel like civilization is in decline overall right now. We're in like serious moral decline. At the same time that some religious organizations feel like they're winning, you know, we see all around us just massive moral decay. And it's not in the way that they think. They're completely blind to what Chomsky calls the evil of like, anyway, whatever. I gotta stop talking now. Just enjoy the ride, Rob. If I tell you what, if I didn't have riding, if I didn't have cycling or running or endurance or something, I would have to find a way, because I would just go crazy if I didn't have it. Because I gotta just get this out of my head. I don't want to think about it. I don't turn the news on. I'm totally bad. Bernie, by the way, is having record numbers. He's destroying Trump. He's not even campaigning. Bernie Sanders is having numbers for his conventions and his rallies that are absolutely 10 times more than Trump ever had. Because he like legitimately, it's like, dude, we are in trouble. The oligarchs have power. We have to activate. We have to organize. He hasn't given up. He's like, I am not giving up. I'm going to go to my grave fighting for the 99%. And he has a full life of action that's proven, including getting ripped off the bridge with MLK, to prove it. Because he's a fucking amazing dude. He's not perfect. He's not perfect, but I tell you what, he's what we need right now. Dude, he was throwing the Democrats under the bus the other day. It was like, these people are total liars. "2028 Bernie, hell yeah." You know what's funny is how popular he is right now. Bernie's getting like really popular with screwed. Yeah. It's like his numbers are coming up. Because the other people, like, they want a populist, right? They think Trump is a populist. They don't realize Trump is not a populist. He's a populist in wolf's clothing. He's a wolf in populist clothing. He's not. He doesn't got any concern for any of the poor people at all. And even the stupid poor people are going to figure that out. They're going to. And then all hell is going to break loose. All those militias and everything, they're going to set their sights on that fucker and his cronies. Just like Mr. Healthcare Murderer. Dude, this country is like a tinderbox getting ready to go. I feel it too. I feel it. I've been sort of immune from it because I have been trying to not be affected by it. But it's not happening. I am definitely affected. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As soon what's happening? That's what's happening. Do you think Mr. Shoot the other guy? He's like, I don't care if they murder me. That's what it takes to pull the trigger to kill somebody else. It takes that level of desperation. And you know what? There are going to be a ton of armed militia that are going to figure out what bullshit this whole thing has been. And you thought January 6th was bad? No. When they actually realized how betrayed they were by that rich asshole who's a Putin asset, when they finally start figuring this out, which they will, all those sights are going to be on that guy. He's going to get assassinated. I'm going to predict it right now. I'm going to predict it. I'm not saying it should happen. I'm not telling anybody to do it. This is not a dog whistle or anything. It's going to happen. Because all those people that got nothing to lose and tons of ammunition, it is a really bad combination. They'll kill a bunch of immigrants and black people and all kinds of stuff along the way because that's how they are. It's sad. I don't want to see that happen, but it's definitely going to happen. I wish we could manage this peacefully, but I don't see how we're going to come out of it peacefully. I'm going to pray and hope that we do. And I'm going to do my best to keep my angst, you know, to here, to these rants and stuff, but I'm, you know, dude, there's one of the most conservative people you would ever meet. Senior executive, vice president, offered me a $250,000 job doing consulting, flying all around. I didn't take it because I would have to give up skill stack. And they wanted me to chase the, as I'm going to quote them, they wanted me to chase the unicorns and teach other companies how to be the unicorn instead of being the unicorn. I was like, I don't want to do that. That was the job. The job was to analyze Google and everything and Facebook and repeat those models for other companies that wanted to be successful. I was like, hell no. But I could add it. I'm happy I ended up making really good money without that. But still. Anyway, this super conservative VP,
she's on Facebook, and she's like, you should see the shit she posts. Yeah, she's like so articulate, and the thing is, she's a fireball, man. She's like challenging people on her Facebook. She's like, I challenge anybody listening right now to tell me one thing, blah, blah, blah. She's, she's not just like going quietly into the night. She's like looking for fights. I don't know why. It's not going to help. Isolated acts of violence. That's what's going to happen. Yeah. That will be the result. There's no question. That will be the result. There's not gonna. There's the country's too. If we were to try to have a civil war, it would be impossible because all the urban centers are where the liberals are, I suppose. So we already. If you want to see what the war would look like, look at Portland, Oregon. Go watch the recent history of Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon has been a war zone over the last like 10 years, 5 years, 10 years. And what happens is, I actually used to live there. I thought of moving back there, and then I read about all this stuff, and I was like, oh my gosh. So, Portland, Oregon is extremely liberal. One of the most liberal places you'll ever find. Reed College, people, you know, that. But then you have an extremely, extremely conservative faction that lives just outside of Portland. Kind of another major war zone, I think, would be Austin, Texas, where you've got these pockets of extreme liberalism that are San Francisco, another one, and they're surrounded on the outskirts by ultra conservatives. And so what happened in Portland, if you go look at the history, is the liberals from around the area and they actually organized. The MAGA people organized, and they put patriot flags, what they call them, on their trucks and everything. And they had these huge convoys, and they deliberately drove into town to cause trouble. Like fucking terrorists, like legit terrorists. You would not believe it unless you go watch it. Go watch the YouTube videos of like the assault on Portland. They would organize, they would have these kumbaya fests, and they would dance and sing and pray, and they would, you know, have all their food, and they'd put a parade on, and then they just drove right down the middle of town looking for a fight. And they got it. They got it because they knew if they drew a ball proud and everything, that somebody would end up picking a fight, and sure enough, it happened every time. And Portland's getting really trashed. Yeah, like tent city stuff. It's really sad because it's such a great city. But if we were to ever have a really escalated conflict, and by the way, what was Trump saying during all of that, right? Trump the whole entire time was saying Trump got denied permission to order the military to go into Portland. He wanted to order the military into Portland. I'm telling you, that's the closest we're going to come to a Ukraine-Russia conflict in America. That kind of urban warfare. It's going to be messy. So, you know, I think one of the sad realities is that Charlotte is actually kind of becoming this, but I don't think Charlotte will ever get near as bad because it's too overrun by conservatives. It's like completely owned by conservatives. So I just don't think there's just too many. The conservatives in Oregon. Charlotte actually has, I'm not even kidding, Charlotte actually has underground passageways for the rich. that it built in like the 1800s or something, so that the rich could go to ballets and stuff and not have to look at the people on the street. That's a true part. Go look at the history of Charlotte. Yeah, 2020 it got crazy too. Kicked him out of one of the states, yeah. Charlotte's solution to this is literally, we don't care, let's make tunnels that connect the ballet to the opera house, to the bank. They still have them. You can go on tour of them. You can go on a tour of Charlotte. We actually should do that. Charlotte's like disparity has existed for hundreds of years. Yeah, it's crazy. And the solution in Charlotte was to just have the rich just kind of sequester themselves away, and they're like, we're going to build tunnels for ourselves. We don't want to be by the zombie regular people. And fences, yep. And McCall Center just, but you know what, that's why I blew up that one day. Because that was the first time I saw the fence. Rather than deal with the situation, McCall put a fence up. Yeah, but they had to. There were homeless people punching people. There were homeless people coming into these rich soirees and randomly punching people. That actually happened. My wife says it was a good thing she wasn't there with her police training. Anyway, today is just a recovery ride. Ride and rant. Yeah. I mean, I know how to survive this time, and unfortunately, I'm really set up well to survive it. But it's, you know, it's just sad. If they weren't mistreated, they wouldn't get mad. Agreed. I don't think they would. Well, I've seen a couple homeless people that I had done nothing to them, but they had a grudge to grind. In Salt Lake, I ran into one. He almost came up and started punching me. I was just out biking. This homeless guy came up and just started screaming at me. Oh, you think you're fancy with your big bike? He was just going off, man. And I was like, look, dude, I did not do anything to you. The bad part about this is that most ultra rich people, that's what they do think too. Like, I didn't do anything to you. You know? And quite honestly, they didn't. You know? The anger that all these people have is not directed toward individuals. It's directed, they just don't have any place to show it. So people take the hit. Innocent people. I mean, the leader of that like healthcare organization, you know. Hey, how are you? I mean, he wasn't particularly innocent, but he also didn't deserve what he got. You know. But when nobody has anybody to, it's because like Marie Antoinette. Marie Antoinette probably didn't deserve to get beheaded. She just said the wrong thing. I mean, what did she personally do to them? Probably nothing. Well, let them eat cake. Well, those poor people eat cake. I could give a shit. That's a lightning rod of discontent. Yeah. Natural curve. Oh yeah, there's gerrymandering everywhere, all over. What else would you expect oligarchs to do, though? Honestly, they brag about it. They're so proud of it. They don't want equality. They don't. They want their side to win. They're not promoting America. They're promoting their side of America. Anybody who promotes gerrymandering in a way that doesn't equally represent the economy of that region is no longer acting in the best interest of America. They're playing a game. And the way you know is because they brag about it. We won the game. We're smarter than the other side. It's this whole sports mentality. It's just tribalism at its worst. They're not, if they truly were pro-America, they would be pro-all Americans. But they aren't. They want their America. They're trying to define what America is for themselves, and it's never been what they're trying to define it to be. I don't know. I don't think mankind's going to change. I don't think humanity is a better word, but I don't. I've been alive long enough to be really cynical. If you look at history, slowly we get slightly better. It's like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back. Dude, look at what happened in the Civil War. I can't wait. In October, guys, if I survive that long, in October, I'm biking to Fort Fisher, which is the site of the largest amphibious war battle of the Civil War. And I can't wait to go. %15% want to be hostile. The problem is the inequality. Honestly, that's what it is. Yeah, like if you study the gorillas and stuff, the gorillas do not like equality either. Animals, tribal systems, they don't like equality. They don't. They want to be supreme leader. We're more animals than we give ourselves credit for. I think Americans are. I think the more out of control you get like this, honestly, you're gonna hate me for saying this, but it's the sign of a less evolved brain. Evolved brains. I actually just saw a thing from a biologist, and he said it doesn't matter what the person is. If they respond with fear and racism, they're less evolved. Because the evolved human brain, the sort of instinct of all humans as animals is to be fearful and is to act out and be tribal and to knock down. That's what we're biologically programmed to do. And the people who are more evolved, according to this neurologist, they have the neural capacity to shut down those instinctual tendencies that are based on evolution in the animal. They have more. So basically, ethics is a sign of evolution. It's a sign of a more evolved brain. And so the people who overly react with fear and anger and they snap out and they say they're better than everybody else, those people are just animals. They're just animals. They're just unevolved. It doesn't help the situation, but it helps to know, I guess, why it's happening, you know? I don't know about that. Yeah. Just need to teach them better. Yeah, well, see, a lot of people haven't learned how to. They haven't trained their willpower in their brain, and so they, you know. Well, I think the tribalism comes in your teenage years. I think it has a lot to do with the other stuff like that. Yeah. Personally, I think the neurology that comes from being a teenager is the one that does that. I mean, if you look at it, you're right. Like, kids don't do it, right? But like, teens definitely do. So by the time you hit teenagers, it's all about drama, what group you're in, what clique you're in, what gang you're in. We just had a kid kill himself because of social media this last week in our area. Yeah. I don't know. I would say that's probably part of it, though. Yeah. Hey. I don't know. There's no way I'm going to be able to fix any of it, so I'm going to ride my bike. I kind of conflicted because I don't want to just disconnect, you know? I don't. I want to do something about it. I don't want to die looking back on my life saying I did nothing, right? I kept my family alive. I kept them in money. I kept myself healthy. I was a good steward, you know. But I didn't do anything to protect humanity. I didn't do anything to make us better. And then my Mormon programming comes to bear, right? Then I start to feel selfish for riding my bike instead of writing a book about coding. Because I could be doing that, right? The funny thing is that the people who have wealth and power, they never for 1 second think, what could I be doing better for this world? It's all about me. I mean, it's like that whole thing about superheroes, right? It's like the good superheroes are always hobbled by the fact that they have to follow a code. Yeah. The U.S. education is just going to the trash. Trying to privatize it. Yep. No, it's absolutely just the U.S. I've been studying that. Yeah, so much of Europe is just like, what the hell is going on over there in America? That's what happens when 80% of the population believes in angels, including my wife. Coding wise, yeah. Have you read the book The Selfish Gene? I have not. I've talked about this a lot, but I saw a documentary about penguins, and you know how the guy penguins sit on the eggs, right? But they have to build a nest out of rocks, and there's this really great, you know, scene. It's got this music in the background, and there's this really diligent penguin who waddles all the way to the shore to get the rocks every time. And then there's this asshole penguin right next to him who waits until he turns around, steals his rock, and puts it on his nest and walks 1 foot back. And has no problem with it. Guess which one nature rewards? The dodo. No, not the dodo. What's the bird that lays an egg in the other bird's nest and it just kicks all the other baby birds out and they all die and the mom gets tricked into raising that bird? Nature doesn't give a shit. Nature rewards the selfish. And you know, this is I feel like I'm a monologuing evil guy. You know, evil character from a Marvel movie. It's like, you know, hey, it's not my problem. You've got this hang up for saving humanity. I don't. That's on you, buddy. That's just because you're stupid. Trump like straight up calls people stupid for paying their taxes. He's like, yeah, just because other people are too stupid to get out of paying taxes. He said that like out loud. Like, he's a penguin. He's the penguin who steals a rock. You know? You gotta watch those penguins, man. Oh. I mean, what are you gonna do? There's really nothing to do. It is the thing though. Selfishness is a powerful motivator. So the people that are more shitty like that, the crazy thing is power is addictive, so then they want more. So they don't have any problem with motivation. The rest of us are like content to just live day to day, you know, go over a bike ride. our motivation to do what it takes to change the world doesn't get kicked in until something goes bad. It really doesn't. Or until somebody tells us that God says we have to be better. You know? The average common person's like, no, I just want to. That's why the revolution, the American Revolution, they couldn't get enough people. George Washington had to trick people. He totally tricked people. He couldn't get enough people. You know why? They're like, we don't care. We're just poor landowners. We're poor, farmers and stuff. It was the American Revolution was the landowners organizing, and they couldn't get anybody to fight for them. That's the actual American history. That's what they had to do. Dude, he literally got foreigners that didn't understand English to sign papers over to conscript themselves into the military. And they would throw them in prison if they didn't comply. That is true. That's documented. That's American history. Landowners not getting their due. All men, my ass. Wasn't even all men. All white landowners who also have slaves. That's what the document was written for. It was not. Every time somebody invokes the Constitution, I'm like, do you really know anything about that? Have you even read it? Nope. I trust those who know better more than me to tell me what it's about. That always works well in history. Gutenberg Press. Okay. I would probably be ranting to myself, literally out loud, on this bike ride. The only difference the camera makes is they don't look quite as crazy. I don't know, man. If you look deep enough, there's been some pretty shitty decisions even among those guys. Yeah. Wozniak is probably, Gates has had several opportunities to step in and do things, and he has not done it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Buffett is another questionable one too, right? If you ask me, they just manage their perception better. They're just better at perception management. I'm not saying all rich people are bad. I'm saying it's easier for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a rich person to get into heaven. Like Jesus said. That's what I'm saying. Have you even spotted one white person mowing the lawns there? Nope. Nope, and you won't. There's not a single white person taking care of the yards in this neighborhood. Why is that? We're going to ride through their neighborhood, and we can see them drinking a beer out on their patio. Yeah, I don't know. I think Buffett's more content to do things from behind the scenes, personally, but I don't know. I don't know enough. I don't have an opinion. I do know there are good rich people, though, because I've met some really amazing rich people. One by name I could say right now, one of the most amazing humans I've ever known, quietly about the work of amazing things. Who, she just came into money because she married into money. But she was not, by nature, a rich person, so to speak. They're definitely good rich people, that's not what I'm saying. And there's even people that really, really earn their wealth, in my opinion. But it's not as common as, I don't know. Fitsy. Yeah. It's actually kind of a sickness because the people who have the opportunity, so often they don't want the opportunity. I don't know where that came from. Fixing loopholes. Good for him. The really amazing, Bezos is the most amazing transformation of all, in my opinion. Bezos was actively campaigning against Trump. He was going against him. He was buying newspapers to say bad things about him. He was challenging the government to actually tax him because it gave him free taxes. Amazon paid no taxes until like 2020 or something. Not a dime. And now he's sitting on the front row of Trump's inauguration. I'm like, what the hell happened, dude? Mormons have a delicate relationship with greed. The Mormon church valued at $180 billion. The richest church in the world. Scientology is like number 8. The Mormons are number 1. The greatest wealth amassing of any religion in history. Bigger than the Joel Osteens, all of them. Every Mormon, including many very prominent Mormons who are very successful in accounting and in law, and the Mormon culture promotes professionals and so they pretty much and then the Utah, and they're always busy, right? The busy bee thing. The bee is the hive. The beehive is the official logo. So you take all of those things combined with the history of, they actually had pretty bad poverty at one point, and then you make a mandatory, you can't go into heaven unless you pay 10% of your income, and we will ask you about it every year, and you cannot go see your kids get married, and you cannot baptize your children unless you pay it. That's how big a deal it is. So you can be sure faithful Mormons, no matter how rich or poor, they pay their tithing. Think about that, 10%. I calculated it up. The Mormon church actually owes me, on the order, I would say probably $70,000 in fraud by lying to me the whole time about the stuff that they said was true. It's straight up fraud. Same with Scientology. You can't hide the facts of your religion and then reveal them all of a sudden after you've paid like $30,000 of your money and dedicated your life to it. That's fraud. Yeah, no black people. No, yep. The 1976. Boy, that has a really sordid history. Go do a YouTube search for Mormon Church in the Blacks. That was actually Brigham Young. Brigham Young was a racist fuck. He was he was way more racist than Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith was just a 14-year-old fucking adulterer, convicted felon, by the way. He was just a fucking pedophile. Joseph Smith was just a pedophile. Pedophile with a God complex. Brigham Young was a racist. He's the one who got rid of it. Joseph Smith ordained black people. And then Brigham Young said, no, fuck no, we're not doing that. What am I going to do with all these slaves? You know what else Brigham Young did? Fuck the word of wisdom. I'm going to have the best wet bar this side of the Mississippi. He was famous for it. He drank scotch and booze all the time while he picked a different of his 300 wives to fuck every night. Sent people to kill people he didn't agree with behind the scenes. He was so bad. Blood atonement came from him. The church radically disavows blood atonement now and will like say that they'll excommunicate people for teaching it. Brigham Young taught it over the pulpit. Well, you want to get me angry, get me talking about Mormons. It's just lies, my friends. Lies, 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 lies. The biggest value of life is living an authentic life. Doing what you can, being who you are. And I really guess that's all you can do. That's it, right? That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Try to live authentically. You know what? The one thing you won't have when you die, if you live that way? Regret. You won't. Do you think I'm ever going to regret not having as much money as Elon Musk? No. I'm going to have a soul. Now, unfortunately, Elon will die without knowing he doesn't have a soul. Because of just how he is. And then he'll come back as a mosquito to suck blood off of a cow. God, I would give anything to see that. To see what Elon comes back as. He's such a lower life form and he doesn't even realize it. My wife's trying to call me again. Probably answer this. Hey, you're on speaker.
I know. I tried to call you back like 10 minutes after you asked, but you were already, I think, underway. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you needed?
$15,000.
For your surgery?
Yeah.
Don't we have that in our flexible spending account?
Don't talk about money. I told you you're being streamed.
I don't know.
So I have to pay up front. They could put me in next Tuesday, but I told them.
Well, I can't hear you. You're breaking up, Jim.
Okay, bye. Love you. Dude, she ignored me 2 days in a row, so I don't want to hear it. I texted her 3 times yesterday and twice today. I said, hey, can you talk? Can you talk? Give me a sec, give me a sec, give me a sec. She's just so busy with everything she's doing right now. Which is fine. I want that for her. You know? That's why she said that. That's why she said that. She goes, well, I called you right back 10 minutes later. I'm like, no, you didn't. It's fine. It's fine, everybody. You're breaking up. I can't hear you. My favorite. Otto, my stepson, Mr. Guest, he and I had a good laugh about Doris the other day at her own expense. My wife's hearing is horrible. My wife's hearing is really getting bad. Her dad's practically deaf as she ages. So she'll start a conversation and then go in the back room. I'm not even kidding. And you'll start to answer and she breaks in and interrupts you and says, I can't hear you. And she's done it She's she's done it to me. She's done it. We were laughing about it because she does it to us all the time. And she's even aware of it, but she still does it because she's so busy. She's so busy all the time. She's always like flirting around doing things, you know. And so she'll like literally say something and then walk away, and you'll like be still sitting there. You have to come in here and talk to me if you want to talk to me. I'm like, then you're like chasing her around the house while she's trying on different outfits. What do you think of this? Because she's busy. She's just Doris, you know. I love her. It's funny when you married somebody for so long, you start to. There's things about me that she would laugh about. I think the thing about me that she laughs about the most is how predictable my cycles are. You guys know my cycles, right? Like the world sucks. I'm not doing anything. I'm not live streaming. Tech is horrible. I'm gonna live by myself on the road. I'm gonna start a school. It's like I have these cycles, and she knows about them. She laughs about them. She doesn't care. She's like, okay. I'm like, what do you mean, okay? Like, well, okay. We'll see. And she says it like, and it kind of makes me mad sometimes, because I'll be like all committed to some goal, right? I'll get all committed to some goal about something, and she'll be like, okay. And she means it. She says it kind of dismissively, like, okay, like, we'll see. She's not Chad, but. And then I'm like, oh, it's on, okay. It's definitely on now. I am gonna show her. I am gonna show her. Because she's like, okay. And she just smiles. Because she knows me. She knows I'm really flighty. It's weird because I am committed. It's not that I'm not committed. I think as a rule, I'm overly ambitious. I think that's the best way to describe my flaw. And most humans are. I'm just like really, really overly ambitious about everything. You know? They say that most humans they underestimate how much time everything takes, and energy and stuff, right? I also have like my attention span. It's like if something is not interesting to me, I don't do it. I don't want to do it. The end. Not even kidding. It's like, I'm not gonna lie, I suffer from that big time. The inability to like stay to something that needs to be done, unless I can see why something needs to be done, I don't do it. And that, I think, is an overreaction for me being Mormon and being told exactly what I had to do every second. I really think that's what that is. It's like no one's going to tell me what to fucking do anymore. You know? I mean, I think people understand. They dictate what you do like pretty much every hour. You got to have so much scripture reading in per day, so much family time. It's not just like natural family time. It's like coded family time. You have to have family home evening on Mondays. They got rid of that finally, thank God. And then, you know, you have a calling. You have to do that. You used to have to go visiting, teaching to like 3 families every month. They got rid of that. They're getting rid of a whole bunch of stuff this last 2 years because everybody's leaving. All these people are leaving the church. They're like, oh God, what are we going to do? So they're getting all these revelations, all these like programs that were inspired, and you know, entire conference talks were dedicated to how awesome it was, are now gone. This is the Lord's will now. The Lord has revealed that all of that was a waste of time. I'm like, really? Because I did it for 20 fucking years. Why couldn't the Lord have been inspired 20 years ago? The structure, yeah. Oh, I have created my own regimented structure, Pixel. I was actually writing about that in my notes. I like structure, and I don't know if it's because I've been built based on structure or not. You know what I mean? I live for structure. I would prefer, in fact, if there's one thing trying to live on the road taught me, it's that the lack of structure is not fun. I like structure. I do. It makes me safe. It makes me feel safe. Why do you think I'm biking right now, right? What if I had to do this in like some random area where I didn't know anybody, right? I wouldn't do it. Yeah, and there's different learnings. Oh, thank you. Oh, it smells like barbecue. There's definitely different learning styles and all kinds of things. You just got to figure out how your brain works. You know, I'm not going to tell you to do it my way. Everybody's different. But I tell you what, my daily Goblin routine, you know, and my nightly, you know, sit on the couch with Doris is really awesome. I really love it. So, and quite honestly, I think that's what a lot of people love about Mormons and religion in general, is it takes the guesswork out of getting to heaven. Okay, what do I have to do to go to heaven? Just tell me. Just tell me what to do. Seriously. Like, okay, we got these 10 commandments, and the rest of it's in these books right here. Except for this Old Testament part where it says to give your daughters so they can be raped. Yeah, don't do that. That was uninspired. Nightly put warnings, yes. Better to be ambitious than not motivated. I agree. I agree. That's why I keep coming back to it. Right? For me, it's not so much as failures as much as it is just readjustments, right? Like this year, for example, God, I had a hot dog for lunch today. And by 2 o'clock, by 3 o'clock, I was a bloated, ugly dude. I had a major reaction to the hot dog, and it just made me blimp out. It was like, it looked like I could be popped like a balloon, like, you know, like that purple berry on Willy Wonka. That's how I just bloated out. It was so gross. I was looking at myself in the mirror. I was like, where the hell did this come from? The point is that consistency, structure, all of that, and that stuff doesn't come back. It's like, that's why you need structure. You need structure in your nutrition. You need structure. You know, I cannot eat hot dog buns. I can't. I don't know what the deal is with hot dog buns. It just makes me, I can eat an entire bowl of lentils and rice, but I cannot eat hot dog buns. It has something to do with structure. That's where I was going with that. It's like, whether it be nutrition or whatever. Oh, the other thing is fitness, right? So consistency is key. Even if it's the same boring Goblin route every day, I don't care. It's more important that I have tiny micro gains every day and have to deal with my fat ass body every day than nothing. And that kind of goes along with the idea of ambition is better than nothing. And even if it feels like failure, you know, maybe you just need to spend more time doing it, right? I guess that's where I was going with that. You know, it provides a sense of control, predictability. Yeah, I also think I'm autistic. I think I'm on the spectrum anyway. So I do rock myself to be comfortable sometimes. I have some tendencies. That's one of the reasons I got the sedative, by the way. Yeah. Because I don't want to go crazy with PTSD when they start, you know, surgically removing my teeth. He was like telling me, well, we don't know if we're going to be able to get in there because there's not much of a stub to grab onto. And I'm like, all I could do is visualize some like you know, pliers pulling my teeth out. I was like, please put me under. I don't want to be awake for that. And then I read the paragraph about that. It says, people regularly die. Not regularly. Sometimes people just die from this anesthesia, just so you know. I'm like, okay. I know. I said, put me totally under. I told him, I said, look, put it on the estimate because, and quite frankly, I wasn't even exaggerating. I said, look, I've already had a couple panic attacks from recurring memories of my face hitting the ground where I had flashbacks. I said, if I have one of those flashbacks while I'm in the chair, it could be really dangerous. And he was like, yeah, we're putting you under. I'm like, okay, to the tune of $300 every 15 minutes. I tell you what, if the insurance isn't going to pay for that, what can I do? Because I'm going to pick a new nose out on Thursday. Thursday we're going to do that. I don't get a new nose until probably next year. I'm going to get the money for the new nose this year. Assuming everything goes well with the quote, I won't get a new nose till next year. I've decided to do I have 4 oral surgeries that I have to go through, not counting the dentist chair to put the bridge in, and not counting the caps on my lower teeth so they match the bridge. Otherwise I'm going to look like Rudy Giuliani. Beautiful top teeth, monstrous lower teeth. That's my plan for the extra money, by the way, the pain and suffering money. The pain and suffering money is going to pay for my bottom teeth to match. And my bikes. There's like so many justifications for me buying these bikes. I do not have to even talk about anything else now. I don't have a shred of guilt for buying these. Do not. Given how much money I'm going to get, I'm going to get probably $22,000 in pain and suffering money. Pain and suffering money. Think about that for a second. Because the pain is okay. So the average, according to my AI, the average pain and suffering payout is 1.5 times the total amount of medical expense. 1.5 times the total amount of medical expense. That's the total amount for pain and suffering, and time off and all that shit, right? So I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, that definitely. Okay, look. I'm an honest man, but this is my one opportunity, you know. I actually had the thought today, could it have been a good thing that I got my face smashed in the ground by somebody else? If this works, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible, but I could be, by the time this whole thing is over, you know, I could actually have a full Hollywood grill, a brand new nose, 2 brand new bikes, and $10,000 to spare. You know what I mean? But this is what I'm trying to say. As much as I'm complaining about the insurance and everything, this is my one opportunity to really, really make the insurance pay. And quite honestly, none of this affects me. This only affects the girl who hit me. Obviously, I'm complaining about being the one who has to argue, get the money and everything. Nancy Reagan. I know. Assuming I don't die and the money goes through and everything. I mean, there's a lot of assumptions there, but One possibility could be, look, the estimate for just my teeth surgery, this is not counting the bridge. The bridge estimate was $4,000. Okay? So if you take the estimate for the oral surgery plus that, we're talking 20 grand. 20 grand. Just for the teeth. Most rhinoplasties are like between, is it 3,000 and 7,000, I think. I have to have a pretty intense rhinoplasty because they got to scrape my bone. They got to reset my septum, so they have to break my nose. And then they have to give me, they have to scrape the rocky bone off. And then they have to cut my whole nose off and then put it back. And then whatever else they do with my nose. So it's I'm guessing it's probably going to be 5,000 to 7,000. So let's do the math, okay? Let's do the math. Minimum. This is, by the way, none of this is even counting the ER visit. None of it. The ER visit was $1,000. No, it wasn't. It was like $1,400. They still, I'm in collections with them. They're like trying to hunt me down. I didn't give them my address, so they put me to a collections agency to try to get money out of me for the ER. And so I still owe them money. So that, by the time I have to pay it with interest and everything, it's probably going to be, I'm guessing, like $1,500, maybe $2,000. Okay, so we're talking about easily $25,000 of medical bills. Easily. And do the math. 1.5 times 25,000 is another 25,000, and then half of that. So they're going to be writing me a check for over 70 grand. Think about that. Wouldn't it be ironic if they literally paid off my skill stack debt? And this was God's way of like balancing the tables or whatever? That'd be weird. Thank you. Thank you. It's like, would you return the church? Would I go back to church over that because God is watching out for me? Nah, fuck God. You hear me, God? Fuck you, God. There's no God. There is no God. If there's a God, he's a sadistic asshole. It makes more sense to me that there's no God. Are you turning or no? Thank you. I'm talking this whole time. I'm not getting a workout, but it's a recovery day, so we'll call it Rant and Recover Day. Recover and Rant Day. Rant and Recover. Raise your heart rate by ranting. No, believe me, I believe in God. I really do. I just don't believe in some angry white asshole. I love how Marvel is taking on the whole God thing. They made Zeus out to be the bad guy. And Gore, the God killer. I think I swallowed another bug. Tulips! That reminds me of Keukenhof. The Keukenhof Gardens in the Netherlands. I used to take people on tour there. It's a lot of bulbs. Oh my God, they're so fragrant. Very, very fragrant. You know what's funny? When the settlement comes in, we'll have a down payment for a house. Yeah. Oh my God. I didn't put that together. Ah. No, I have pollen problems. Where's my inhaler? You know what? Every time I talk, When I go on bike trips, I have this problem. Every time I talk, I end up getting allergy. Yeah, I have a runny nose too. This is definitely pollen. Yep. Yep. All right, guys, time for me to put the bento bag on so I can carry my inhaler with me. I could probably just stop talking too. Where's the fun in that? Wait, does recovery day mean get a beer? No, it definitely does not mean that. Ouch. I definitely need to get my nose fixed because I can't breathe out of it. I can't. No beer. Beer's bad for me. Makes me fat. I'm gonna go home and get my mail. Because I think I have a surprise in the mail. There's a chance they took my money and then they're not going to send it though. That would make me angry. The gummies. Lots of pretty clouds today, huh? Did I mention I dress perfectly again? I've been putting my clothing in my private notes on Strava. So I can kind of like... I gotta admit, I do like that Strava records the weather for the day. And then you combine that with what you wore that day. Kind of nice to know. This doesn't look good. Hey, look at that. Both ways, children. We're going under the highway. Here it comes. Here comes the cool part. This has actually been a very nice ride. It's definitely changed my spirits. I got the rant out and now I'm just having a good time with my friends. It's cold in that tunnel. Hey Bellum, happy. Yeah, I need to put my stuff on. Like when I literally have nothing else to do and I'm just sitting on the couch, I'll go move those emojis over. But I tell you what, the month of March is going to be really busy because we have all these deadlines at work. So, and I have the whole fitness thing. So this is it for a while. I'm getting excited about the mountains to coast ride. I was looking at the towns that we're going to. Yeah, we start in Lake Lure, which is absolutely gorgeous. And apparently they just opened a greenway on Lake Lure that kind of connects Lincolnton apparently. So we're gonna take that. And it's Lincolnton, and then it's Kannapolis. Can you believe that? We're going to Kannapolis. So we're probably gonna be biking right through Mooresville. I wonder what road they're gonna take. So yeah. So then we do Kannapolis, and then we do Asheboro and Mount Olive, home of Mount Olive pickles. That's coming, which is kind of cool. I never put it together that Mount Olive actually is where Mount Olive pickles are made. Who knew? So, and then we do a bunch of farm towns, and then we end in Fort Fisher. So that ride's coming up in October. It's a long ways away, but I'm really looking forward to it. I actually found some other pictures, and there's some really serious cyclists doing this. It's not just a bunch of, you know, mammals, men in lycra, middle-aged men in lycra. It's you can tell that the tourist agency, the tourist department. Oh, thank you. They deliberately picked you know, photos out of the bunch to make people feel like anybody could do it, kind of thing. But if you look at the other pictures, you can see the serious cyclists. So there are a number of very serious. I mean, it's 62 miles a day. That is not. That's like one. That's like 100K. 100%. It's 100K. 62 miles is 100K. Apparently one day there's an option to do a century, like a century of miles. So I'm going to try that out. So I got a lot of time before that happens. Yeah. March 24th, there's a big party for all the Booty Loop people. I'm going to go to it. I've only raised $250 for cancer. Just put a shout out there. If anybody wants to go to RevXRob.fun and click on the donate for cancer, you know, help me reach that minimum. I have to reach 400 or I have to pay it. I'll pay it with my pain and suffering money if I have to. Booty Loop, yeah. 24 hours of booty. Yep. Oh, look at all those cars backed up there. Gilly, did you see that? Glad I'm not in a car right now. Hey, yeah. You know, one of these days, I'm going to be able to smile at these people with a big old smile instead of closing my mouth. Won't that be funny? I'm going to be Mr. Toothy Grin. Talk about a change in behavior. I definitely can. You're right. You're absolutely right. There's nothing stopping me. I told you it's a window to the soul. People's reaction to me not having teeth. It is a window to their soul. Damn it, it's green. I'm going to miss it. This has been a very nice ride. Why is it still green? Just to torment me? Yeah, they made it though. Good for them. They're e-bikes. And they're like full winter clothes. I'm gonna be here a while, so. So there. amazing. I mean, I just feel so relaxed. I think this is why they call it a recovery ride. It's just enough to get your heart rate running, you know, and kind of clean out all the gunk from yesterday. A miracle. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna try to do. My AI recommended something to me, so I'm gonna try it. I asked Chloe. I was like, Chloe, how can I work in 2 workouts per day and not die? So I can get that back in shape and hold my weight and everything. She gave me a bunch of options, but one of the options was a 90-minute to 2-hour zone 2 morning ride, fasting. So you just wake up and you go for a ride. Really, you do not break out of zone 2, otherwise you will destroy your muscles because you don't have any glycogen. But your body is already in fasting state, so it's already set. The chemicals in your body right when you wake up are already set to burn fat. So you don't want to do this if you're like training for an event or something. Doing anything fasting is like really bad. But she recommended, so Dr. Chloe, yeah. So, but if you do it, the key is you really can't. But the reason I think it'll work is because it's at home, you know? She said her other workouts are all do the hard stuff in the morning when you're like fresh, your muscles are fresh, and then do the long recovery in the afternoon. And I don't know. I'm kind of like mixed on that. You know? Because if I do that, that would be better for the reason I want to do the slow stuff in the morning is that means in the afternoon I can go mountain biking, which is like really intense, right? And I can do the sort of fast-paced stuff. It does mean that I'll have less ability to talk, unless I start streaming 2-hour stuff in the morning, which might as well. What the hell? What else am I going to do, right? Except for it's really early when I wake up. I wake up at 7, so I don't know, nobody will be up. But yeah, if I ever just wake up and put music on and pedal slow like this, then at night I could do sweet spot. I could try to bust. You know, I just figured out another reason. Because that means I could go for Strava segments at night. You know, in the afternoon. I could do for that. I could get my own little section. I'm sorry, trolling section. Pedal meditation in the morning, yeah. It would be just like pedal meditation and music, and it's actually really fun to bike in the morning when everybody else is on. There's like hundreds of people on the peloton. It kind of affects you mentally. But yeah, then we could like, you know what we could do? We could literally like, assuming I actually get in shape. So I decided I want to build a sprinter body. have the same height as Cavendish, Mark Cavendish. 20-time Tour de stage race winner. I think he beat Eddie Merckx finally. More tour stages than anybody. So he's 175 centimeters tall. I'm 174. And he had a propensity to put on muscle, and so do I. But he was also heavier. His average weight was 70 kilograms. So I was going to try to drop to a 67 and be an all-rounder or a classicist, but there's no way I could be a climber. There's just no way. I'm not built for it. So yeah. Anyway, good to have goals. 3 watts per kilo. Be my average zone 2. I want to get up to the point where I can do 3 watts per kilo in zone 2. That means I got to bump my FTP up to 280. It's like 231 now, I think. It was 242 last year. Short and light. Yeah. Short, and I have lots of power. And I actually ordered 160 mil cranks, which are also ideal for sprinting. In fact, I watched a whole hour-long thing about crank length, and the science is overwhelming. Time trialists and sprinters do better with smaller cranks. When you need really immediate bursts of energy, smaller cranks are better. They're also better on your knees. It makes it better to hold the aero position. So I got 160 mil cranks. Basically what I'm doing is I'm sort of building a time trial bike. And I have the profile. I used to do triathlon, right? I don't want to put the aero bars, but I could. I could put aero bars on this thing and totally crush the Strava segments. I think most of the Strava segments are owned by triathletes anyway, because they got their tri-rigs, you know. I absolutely do not want to go back to triathlon though, because I was so weird looking. Dude, I was obsessed with triathlons. Looking back, I'm like, ugh. The shit that I wore in public as a triathlete, never again. I'm not doing it. I don't care how aero I have to get. Maybe medibs. Hello, mate. Depending on rider measurements, yeah. So, just so you guys don't know about cycling, I'll tell you a little bit. So, there's 3 types of cycling types. Cycling, what do they call them? What is the word for physical body type? What is it called? I forgot. But there's mesomorph, endomorph, all that. But there's 3 general classifications for that's not the right word. There's 3 types of cyclists. And if you're gonna become pro, if they identify talent in you, I'm not trying to do that, but if they did, if they would, at an early age, they would kind of they're doing this in Zwift right now, actually. Yeah. Zwift is kind of an influx of pro cyclists right now. They're getting ready. So this week is the first week of the Zwift Games. Rob Morph, yeah. This week is the first week of the Zwift Games. And the winner of the Zwift Games gets a legit shot on a pro cycling team, which I would never do. Cycling's royally messed up, man. The sport always has been. From the very first tour, it has always been messed up. People with fist fights, throwing nails on the road, taking trains to cheat. The Tour de France is a total history of human assholeness. I don't want anything to do with it, but anyway. So You can be a general classification, GC they call it. Tade Bagache. The people that are remembered are usually generalists. So they're the ones who get the points over the year. And they have to be able to do everything. Not blood doping. I should put alcohol in my blood on occasion to make it through the rest of the ride. How's that? We'll call that blood doping. General classification, those are the guys who get all the headlines, right? Because they have to do everything, and they have to be really fast time trialists also. So, and then you have the sprinters. Super famously, Cavendish. Mark Cavendish is the most famous sprinter pretty much ever. And yeah, he retired this year. He's also a dick. If you watch him sprint when he races, he elbows people off the road and shit. It's like absolutely horrible. He started out as a track rider though, apparently. So track sprinting is totally different league, right? Totally different league. And that's pretty much a boxing match on two wheels. That's pretty much it. And then you got the climbers. The people that are always going for the polka dot jersey. So the sprinters get the green jersey. Whoever has the most sprinter points gets the green jersey. Whoever is the best all-around cyclist gets the yellow jersey, maillot jaune. And whoever is the best climber, or won the last climb, gets the polka dot jersey. And you'll know the climbers because seriously, you could like wave a fan and they would blow away. They weigh like 60 kilos. They're super tiny, and they cannot descend for shit. They can't because they're too light. It's like dropping a feather. The wind resistance keeps them from going down. So the GC guys are fast on the downhill, relatively fast on the uphill. I could hold their own in a sprint and a triathlon, but they'll lose a sprint every single time. And the sprinters just hang on to the peloton the whole entire race, and the only thing they do is they wait to the last segment of the race. They literally suck the wheels of everybody else until they deliver them to the finish line, and then they take the stage in the sprint finish at the end, and then they win the stage. So they might win the stage, but they don't ever win the yellow jersey, almost never. So their whole thing, and they usually have an entire team dedicated to bringing them up to the end so they can put all their muscle power to play at the last, So sprinters have to be good. They have to survive the hills. The reason Armstrong was so famous is he did all of this stuff. But he was a superhuman. He was totally on all kinds of drugs. Yeah. They're actually finding mechanical doping now. It's crazy. I watched the whole thing on it. Yeah. Velodrome would be so fun. If I were young and had a doctor there to fix my bones when I broke them. You remember Nielsen Vales? Probably before your guys' time. Nielsen Vales was an Olympic gold medalist in 1986 or so, 87. Go look him up. Dude, that guy, he's a monster. Nielsen Vales, V-A-L-E-S. I had a poster of him on my track sprinting's for rich kids. My wife has a friend who's a rich kid, and she's a track sprinter. She was anyway. Trying to decide how much to comment on that. A lot has changed in her life, I'll just put it that way. Before most people's time who are watching this. Yeah. What are the track spinners you guys know? You guys know any? He's pretty jacked, right? He was probably totally doping too, because it was the 80s. But you watch video of that guy racing, it is so crazy. Oh my God. It's just amazing watching those guys race on the velodrome. There's actually a velodrome, a really famous velodrome here. Remember that? Last year we met a guy who flew in from out of state to race on the velodrome. He goes, man, you should come check it out. We were eating at the food truck, remember? We were eating at that food truck and we randomly met a guy and he invited us. He goes, yeah, you should come, and I didn't go. I was gonna go video it. It was like a national track competition. Mooresville's, I mean, Charlotte's got a pretty good track scene. So, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the only sport I really have ever followed has been cycling. Like I had Le Mans and Laurent Fignon, and these are all really, really, really old cyclist heroes. And they're all on my teenage walls. Peter Attia had the same heroes on his walls. He's a big time fancy YouTuber, doctor, dude, no, author. I never knew him, but he's the same age as me. Comes from the same vein. Yeah, isn't that beautiful? You know Gary? Nice. Gary's nice. He's still at it, man. Yeah. I think he sold the brand, but he's still into making bikes. Interesting guy. Popcorn popping. Yeah, there's a lot of blossoms popping up. Oh my God, my heart rate went all the way to 118. What the hell? Calm down, Rob, you monster. Beautiful sunset, huh? Only 4 days left before the sun. Right now, you'll have another hour. You know, one of the reasons I want to split the riding into 2 parts during the day, if I do 2 2-hour rides, I don't have to organize my eating strategy. You know? I can just eat good before and then eat after. And if I do 2 hours fasted in the morning, I just eat breakfast afterwards. So it's so much less complicated. Organizing nutrition and water on a 5-hour ride is not fun. It's fun to eat. The thing that's cool about that is that when I do the longer rides, we'll just be able to go get a big meal or something. Because it'll just be long and slow. All the speedy stuff will be during the week. What was I actually going to say? Yeah. Spring is coming, baby. You up to 10 mile? Nice. Dibs. Way to go, buddy. Honestly, got back on? Yeah, dude, I know what it's like. Dibs, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I stay in the suburbs mostly. You know, people call me a wimp or whatever. I don't care. Do you have any gravel by you? You might like that. If you have any gravel, if you have any gravel by you, get a gravel bike. Or just put fatter tires on your current bike, like I do. Am I getting gold teeth? No. And I cannot recommend indoor riding enough. Buy a cheap bike or something. Although, you know what? Zwift started making their own indoor bike. You just have to buy a trainer, but the indoor bike is only like $500. Riverbank's nice. That sounds fun. That sounds like, yeah, they're nice and flat too, right? I would love that. I love riding riverbeds because they're flat. The water has made them very flat. I don't mind hills, but sometimes I just want to go flat. This has been a total recovery ride. Hey, hi. Hi there. I don't trust that person for a second. Here, bear. Here, car. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. Oh, canals? Yeah. Yeah, there's some good canals in Utah. Apparently the Jordan River in Utah Trail is pretty good. I saw a review of that. Kind of industrialized and gross, and apparently there's drug dealers on it, but it seemed fine. I tried to do a trip there one year. But these days I just ride in my own favorite circle that I know. Really safe and everything. That guy was just moving his legs just to look like he was moving his legs. He had his e-bike on full. Nothing wrong with that. You know, I like the downhill people who are now calling themselves gravity bicyclists. They have a new bullet point on the list for the specs for their bikes. It's called automatic lift or something. And what it means is it has enough battery to get you back up to the top of the hill so you don't have to pedal at all. You just have to pedal on the downhill only. I thought that was funny. Oh, it's called, I'm trying to remember the exact word to use. Automatic something. You could make a bike. Oh, nice. Nice, yeah. Yeah, I dropped some money on a Trek Demani and a Trek Carrasco. Those are both the top of the entry level. So for both bikes I paid $4,000, which is pretty good. Actually, I paid less than that. I paid $3,600. Yeah, I was looking at getting like a fancy carbon bike or something, but you're getting way more bike. Let's get a motorcycle. I know. A lot of those e-bikes are kind of like motorcycles. They're faster than motorcycles. Just have the annoying two-cycle engine. I did think of getting carbon. But I don't see why I would. I don't feel like carbon maintains its value as well.
Around the exterior of the plate, and I think that was a really good place for it.
Security guy. Smells like vanilla. Essence of Vanilla by Yves Saint Laurent. Range. You know what? It doesn't matter, right? I got a bonus at work, so that's how I bought it. I mean, I spend 3 hours a day on this thing, so if you were to calculate the dollars per hour compared to like a gym membership or something, think about that for a second. Let's do that math just for fun. I ride this bike 3 hours a day, so on average, if you count the days I take off and then I ride like 10 hours on those other days.
Thanks a lot.
So 3 hours a day. So if you were to spend 3 hours in the gym, I mean, you get, okay, that's not fair because Planet Fitness, Planet Fitness is $20 a month unlimited. So you could do that, and then the automobile cut. Yeah, that's not fair. Planet Fitness would. All right, forget that. How about outside? It's something that you. I need to find some way. Help me justify this. If you count all the money I spend in gear too, it would have to be a fancy gym, yeah, instead of Planet Fitness. I mean, yeah, a gym that would have something worth riding, right? That's fair. Planet Fitness is not a fancy gym by any means. So, Planet Fitness is the Walmarts of gyms. Yeah. I mean, okay, so when I was a triathlete, we had a fancy gym, and it was $75 a month for a family. And so, yeah, that works out a little bit better, right? A little under $1,200 a year. But, you know, so you can get a pretty decent entry-level bike for $1,200. But if you spend just a little more, if you spend $2,000, you get a really good entry-level bike. One that doesn't have crappy components, you know. My Marrakesh cost $1,400. I paid $1,000. It was on sale, new. That's a touring bike though. So my urban bike, I paid $1,000 for that. My Ghost. My German touring bike. Trekking bike, I mean. Urban trekking. I love that bike, by the way. I really do. I can't wait to get on it again. I'm so glad we worked out a way to ride it. Like the after ride. Some of these recovery rides, I could totally do those on that bike instead. To tell you the truth, it would probably be better to ride that bike to Charlotte and back because of the fenders. And there's just so much urban riding. Look at the lights and everything on that one. I could do critical mass that way. That bike is much more suited for critical mass than this bike. I bought last summer. Oh, you're talking about my... Oh, I still have that bike seat. To tell you the truth, I really don't like it. It keeps coming loose. Anytime I knock it on the side, it comes unscrewed. I feel sorry because I do like the guy's innovation and everything, but there's no way I'd put that on any other bike I ever own. It's really cool, but you know, just give me a nut. Just give me an Allen key. You know, it doesn't work. It's the whole idea of it's supposed to be toolless, but when are you not going to have an Allen key to adjust your seat? It's like never. Probably why it didn't take off. But it's I love the dude. The dude was so nice. And I'm glad I bought it to support him. I really am. I really want to support people like that. You know, innovators. But I would never use it again. It's still on that bike, by the way. I can't remember his name. Yeah, Jeff. It's like, it starts with an S, like Sun Cycles or something. Yeah. I have to go back and look. That is the coolest bike shop I've ever been in. It's very much adventure cycle related though. It was not performance cycling. It was more about adventure biking and love of cycles, bikes and things, which is cool. That was Logan. That was Logan, Utah. You could probably find it. Yeah. I'm actually, you know what, we should go in there. If I go in there, he's gonna ask me how's the seat doing. I'm like, we're going back to Logan. I don't know if I'm gonna bring my streaming gear to Logan though. Probably not. I thought of it though. My trip, that's the trip in May. May 7th, I'm back in Logan. Yeah. Hi. Oh, they smell nice. He said creepily. Apparently I'm like third fastest time on this climb right here. Just saw that yesterday. Sunrise, yeah! I knew I had sun in there. Hey there, thank you. I love that t-shirt they have. Just don't fit in it anymore. Yeah, add it to the list of goals. I have a while. I'm slowly coming down. They always say that's better anyway because then it's sustainable. ACL. Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, but that's the thing, you know, it's like, at least the cycling, you can kind of adapt it, right? It does suck, there's no doubt about it, but at least you have a way to stay fit. I mean, because so many people like do something that causes them to be wheelchair bound, and then it's almost impossible to stay healthy at that point. You can, it's just really hard work. I'm really grateful that I can still bike as a form of exercise, even if I'm not the fastest. It's just such a fun way to exercise. Running's gone. I can't run anymore. My knees are totally shot. So, from all the skateboarding and snowing and skiing and biking. I just like, you know, the getting out part. And even if you can't get out, you can still do indoor riding. They say swimming's the only other sport that's better that you can do for your entire life. Like, your entire life you can swim. I used to, when I was doing my triathlon training stuff back in, God, the 90s, we go to the pool. And there was always like a class of seniors, like before or after, before the adult swim time. And they were in there bouncing around, having fun. And I was like, good for them. I mean, I make fun of people that tell me that now. Good, I had like this beautiful girl the other day tell me, she's like, good for you. She said that. And I was like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, old man, you know, good for you, old man. And I was like, if I was a 20-something out riding my bike around, Doris loves to dance. She thinks I make fun of her, and I one time laughed at her because she has kind of an Elaine style. Her favorite style of dancing is like the Groove Is in the Heart girl. She loves Groove Is in the Heart girl. I was trying to figure out who she was channeling the first time I saw her dance, and it didn't come to me until like after we were married. And then she's like, yeah, I used to like love Groove Is in the Heart, Delight, you know. You started again in February? Nice. Well, I'm glad you started again. Me too. I started in February too. Trying to get rid of this extra weight and stuff. But yeah, my wife is dancing like Delight. Dude, you want to see my wife just like randomly break into dance? Turn Groove Is in the Heart on. I'm not even kidding. She's like, it's like her dance kryptonite. If you turn on 3 Nights to Brooklyn from Beastie Boys, I think it is, or if you turn on, she's very New York. If you turn on like Delight, Groove Is in the Heart, she literally will like drop whatever she's doing and start dancing. It's like her dance on button. Like push the button to the door, started her dancing. She's so funny. Another thing I love about my wife is when I married her, I bought her a ukulele, pretty expensive ukulele, because she expressed some interest in wanting to get one. She likes music, but she realizes she doesn't have any musical talent at all. She can't even sing on key. She's like, you know, in the Dungeons and Dragons of character generation, right, with God, she was like, okay, I want to put all my points into art, you know, no points in music at all. And then she married a musician. You know, I was like dating people. Yeah, in New York City. Yeah, there's a few of them actually. Yeah. Well, yeah, so the thing is so funny. My wife, I love her so much. She doesn't really have pitch, so she doesn't really hit the notes at all. But it does not stop her from singing. When she's like cleaning or something and she's got her headphones on, it's just so funny. I love her so much. She'll be like, she will scream at the top of her lungs. She will sing the wrong lyrics off pitch at the top of her lungs. She does not care. And she's so cute. It's so cute. It just makes me love her so much. I mean, this girl is like been called by other really renowned artists the best figure drawing artist in all of Charlotte, and she doesn't even like it. She wants to be a sculptor. She is a sculptor. She's like everything. She's a printmaker. She does everything. And I mean, she's like ridiculously talented artist. But when it comes to music, she has an appreciation for music, but she really doesn't have any music skill. And she owns it too. She'll be the one to tell you that. She's like, oh no, man. I'm like, are you sure you don't want to try again, Doris? Yeah. Which is funny because, you know, she can dance pretty good. She's a pretty good dancer. One time I had fun with her dancing with her, I was just playing around with her. And I guess she was self-conscious or something, so I made her self-conscious somehow. I feel bad about that because I love dancing with her. I mean, there's my ex-wife, she and I, that was like one of the main reasons we were together, was dancing. She was on dance team. She lived for dancing. Dude, we would go on a cruise. I'll never forget. You want to hear a really sort of secret, sleazy story? So, I almost shouldn't tell you the story. I shouldn't tell you the story, but I'm going to tell you anyway. So my ex-wife, Alicia, and if you go see her, you'll see. My wife, Alicia, was a model. She was, you know, very kind of like model beauty, you know, long features and stuff. Completely out of shape, but just kind of skinny naturally. She was 1/4 Assyrian, so she was super pretty in terms of like traditional, whatever. Anyway, so, but she was a dancer. She was addicted to dancing. That was like the one thing we really had in common, you know. And we used to chaperone church dances together. And we would go there and we would dance. And we would dance with all the kids. And the kids would be like, what? So anyway, we were both Mormon, right? So we were really repressed. So when it came to dancing, we just let everything loose. So here's how the story goes. So we went on a cruise that we got for free. My brother-in-law at the time won it. He gave it to us. We went on this cruise. And I've never told this story to anybody, I don't think. I don't think I've ever told anyone the story, including my wife. But, so nobody was watching us, right? So we're two Mormon kids, two Mormon parents, you know, off the chain, with the grandparents watching the kids, down on our cruise. So we haven't been out, been raising young kids, you know, pining for all that energy of our youth and everything. And I actually ran a marathon on the ship. But, and we got ready. So yeah, let's go to the club. So we knew there was alcohol in the club and everything, right? Now I'm telling my secret story on the internet. I am, yeah, for everybody to know. So now you guys can all know it. So, it's too much. My wife says I do too much build up, but it's probably true. Mostly it's just because I'm trying to remember it and pedal at the same time. But, the point is that we were on this cruise, we were Mormon, and so we couldn't really go down, so we couldn't have alcohol, of course, so we couldn't be even around alcohol. Going to like a nightclub was like a big no-no to Mormons. You never went to nightclubs. I actually really hated that because I love music, and all the best music was at the open mics and stuff. I couldn't go. So on the cruise, we kind of like, well, no one's gonna know, so we started, doing things that we didn't break any Mormon rules, but one night we were like, we should go dancing. Okay. And because we were kind of like, it was like, we kept walking past the nightclub on the ship, and we saw all the music in there, and we saw the people having fun, and we're like, oh, I want to go in there. But we were Mormon, and we can't do it. So one night we was like, let's just go. And I'm like, okay. So my wife, God, I can still see her in this dress. A lot of bad shit happened with my ex-wife, and that I will never forget that night. I will never forget that night. She put on this like really, really long green dress, like olive green dress. It was kind of like, but it was made of this sort of nylon stuff. But it wasn't see-through, but if you got behind the light, you could see through it. And she had, I don't know, I think she got the dress for the trip because the shoulders were too short. The Mormons, they changed it so that you girls can wear cut-off sleeves now. They couldn't do that before because they had to wear special underwear, right? And so I just remember this dress, right? Because she didn't have, it wasn't sleeveless, but it was really pretty, just really complimented her well, and it fit really tight. And she has this like skinny model-ish, lanky body. But it was so tight on her. It's funny because it was one of these dresses that's tight but not really tight, right? So it would like bunch up in all the right places when she moved. Oh my God. Anyway, so she's like, I can't wear this with these underwear, because she had Mormon underwear on, right? If you guys don't know what Mormon underwear is, you gotta go look. So she took off her underwear. Long story short, she took her underwear off, and she looked just like she would have done in any of her dance numbers as a kid in high school, right? And so all her underwear lines were gone and everything. All right, and then I got to walk her arm in arm down to this dance place, and if you haven't seen me dance, I've been dancing my whole life too, so it was fun, right? Not like just pop dancing kind of thing. Anyway, we did our thing on the dance floor, and it was like, I know it sounds weird, but we kind of owned the place. I mean, we did. We went in there and we started dancing, and there were all these drunk people, and they kept saying, woo, woo. They're like egging us on. And I just remember her silhouette, like in front of the lights. I just remember that, and I remember you could see everything. There's a quote from City Slickers. You could see everything that the Lord blessed her with. And she was it's like an image in my head that's permanently burned in my head. Because, it's like, oh my God. She just moved so well, and basically it was, Mormons gone wild. That's what it was. A few Mormons having gone wild. Thank you. That's it. The part I was nervous about telling you is that she took her underwear off. I don't know why, I just am nervous about saying it out loud. You can fill in the rest. Mormons got wild. It was so fun. That part was fun. And then we had the massive fight. One of the worst fights of our life. On the last day. That's kind of how our relationship was. With or without you. It's still my song for her. The moral of the story is, no matter how bad and gone to shit everything goes after that, it doesn't change those memories. It doesn't mean they didn't happen. You know? Doris and I talk about that all the time. We talk about all the time. Her ex used to woo her with food. Really great international food. I'm not a foodie at all. I like good food. Can't go to nightclubs? Well, it's supposed to be, they call it the appearance of evil. You're supposed to avoid the appearance of evil. So get door drop. There comes the rainstorm, look at that. Definitely on the way. We're gonna miss it though, barely. Thank God. Religion is just weird, yeah. You know what's really funny is that Brigham Young made sure there was a violin in every Pioneer company because he told them there's a, and there is a time to dance. One of the greatest Marvel superheroes who ever lived, Kevin Bacon. Free will. Well, yeah, we have free will, but that's what makes, the Mormons will tell you that's what makes obedience so important. They've even gone so far as to say you don't have obedience anymore, that God doesn't love you unless you obey Him. They've been starting to say that in the Mormon Church within the last year. They've changed the official position of the church sort of from God loves everyone no matter what to God only loves you if you obey His will. They've been literally saying this. They've been having sermons about it and everything. Which is kind of messed up, actually, if you think about it. I mean, that's like one of the core parts of Christianity, and they're like changing. It's control. I think that's why they're doing it. I think they feel like they're losing control of the church because people are going to the internet now, and they're leaving the Mormon church in droves. Not just the Mormons, the religions everywhere are losing ground, man. Yep. The evangelicals, I mean, their core belief is you don't need a church. You just need Jesus. And you just need the Bible. How can you have any kind of hold on anybody, get their money, if you tell them they don't need it anymore? Kind of like Martin Luther all over again. It's between you and God. You don't need a priest. That's a dangerous belief if you want control. Yeah. You're evil, but you're made in the image of God. Mormons used to say God's in an embryo. They literally would say that. Isn't that weird? We are gods in embryo, they would say. Ooh, that storm is going to be bad. Glad I'm barely missing it. You don't need a building or book. I agree. Why would the most knowledgeable creator of heaven and earth require somebody read a book to understand their spirituality? It doesn't make any sense. That would make them the stupidest being on earth, in the universe. If you have almighty power, then even if you believe you have to have experience to learn, which I do, you can give people an inner compass, a sense of good and evil, and let them act on that without appointing people to tell them what good and evil is. Right? Step one, create people. Step two, give them a moral compass. Step three, let them live life and act in free will based on their moral compass. The end. That's it. You don't have to have an organization. You don't have to have divinely appointed representatives on the planet. Nothing. And actually, I think that is what it is. I actually do believe in God, and I believe that's exactly what it is. Some people have been born with a more attuned moral compass than others. That's the whole part about a progression. They got to keep trying. Spiritual evolution kind of thing. Stop testing me. Just let me be. I'll figure it out. Yeah. Oh, it's a test. No, it's not a test. Other than, God put us in this petri dish called Earth and said, figure it out. The idea that God doesn't love you, He's not talking to you and stuff, that's like totally messed up. Totally. You don't need permission to communicate with God. Every living creature on the planet Earth has the ability to commune with God, naturally. It doesn't need a helper. That is an intelligent plan. That is the plan, if you ask me. There's no Mormon representatives at your door saying, we are the only true church. Everybody else is good, but we're the only true church. True story, that's what they say. I taught 500 missionaries. That's what they tell you. It's really messed up. Here's the thing. The idea that people can't be good unless they know what commandments to follow and what not, that idea is evil. Because that means, unless it's covered by one of these commandments, I can do whatever the hell and just tell my inner compass to shut the fuck up. That is evil. That's the definition of evil. The people who say there's no such thing as a moral inner compass that you can follow all by yourself, those people are the dangerous ones. You need to follow me. I represent God. I know better. Most people look at, this stage when you no longer need Him. Right. That's why it's actually easier to believe that there's not a personal pray about you God. Every time somebody, okay, here's something interesting, okay? I talked to my wife about this yesterday. Somebody was on I think it was Instagram, right? And there's so many things wrong with this story, but I had to tell you. So there's this Instagram of this couple who have a stillborn daughter. Maybe you've seen it. And they are fucking filming it. So that's the first disturbing thing, okay? They're filming their dead baby, and they're setting up the shots, and their dead baby is laying on their stomach, and they're both crying, and they're like, you know, you can tell that they frame the shot, and then they have like panaways and fades and everything, and they're just, it's like, oh my God, it is like the epitome of the worst of civilization. I mean, seriously, it's the most tragic thing in the world. And they're crying their eyes out, but they're all on camera, and they put that on Instagram. Okay, so that's not even the worst part, okay? The worst part is all the people in the chat. Oh, this is so sad. We're so happy for you. We're so sad for you, blah, blah, blah. And then, this is the one that really triggered me. There's a comment there where somebody says, oh, I feel so blessed to have my children. I don't know what I would do without them. And that caused me to like kind of lose it. And my wife's like, dude, they didn't mean it. And I'm like, okay, fine. Well, it's like they didn't mean it the way you're interpreting it. And they're like, well, so how did I interpret it? Whenever somebody says, God bless me, blessed be to God that I missed this red light. Blessed be to God that my kids are not stillborn and theirs are. I am so blessed that my kids are not dead, and God help you for you having dead kids. And you know, even if they don't intend this meaning, what they're actually saying is that somehow that couple with the stillborn baby wasn't blessed, right? Because if they were blessed to have kids that are living, then the opposite of blessed is not blessed. That means that poor shitty couple who posted their dead stillborn baby on Instagram are not as blessed by God. That is fucked up. That is evil. That is evil incarnate. All these people running around thinking that, first of all, God is personally interested in every single thing that they do. And that he personally takes interactive action for them. Which, if he's an all-omnipotent God, he's not doing that, right? He can be there for everybody all at the same time. I get it. So one person could be blessed and another not blessed in that same millisecond because he's omnipresent, right? Whatever. That's what they would tell me. Oh my God, hamburgers. I'm smelling hamburgers. But there's this perpetual idea, it's particularly prevalent in the South, that you're blessed and that people that have hardships are not blessed. The whole Hurricane Katrina thing. Even the whip of an idea that the people down in Louisiana deserved what they got. Or the heathens in Asheville, which is very progressive, deserved what they... People actually say this shit. The idea that an entire race of people is going to be blown away by a hurricane, and then you might think to yourself, okay, oh well, nobody would actually believe that. Do you know why they believe that? Because that's what's taught in the Old Testament. The God of the Old Testament bashed the heads of babies against rocks because they were a part of a wicked and adulterous generation. That is evil. And we have it. We have it today. We have all these people who think that they are blessed because, you know, they think, and you have the whole fucking Joel Osteen assholes who think that the whole world owes them a new Cadillac, whatever. And then you have, you know, look, if Jesus ever comes back to earth, which I think would be awesome, if the Jesus of the New Testament actually exists and comes back to earth, I will be first in line. I'll be like, dude, can we talk? And by the way, can we get on with the part where you say, I never knew thee, to all these assholes? Because none of them have any of your values at heart. You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Rant and recover. Rant and recover. Just say, you sinned and you got a mutation, so you sinned. I know, how messed up is that, right? Hey, do you mind if I go? If you, I'm gonna just go. Look, that just makes me not believe in God. But the truth is, I still believe in God. I just don't believe in the God. I don't believe in a God that would curse somebody with a genetic disorder because they sinned. I don't. And quite honestly, I don't see how any intelligent person could actually believe that. Because if indeed God is all-powerful and all-knowing and all-wise, the definition of all-knowing and all-wise does not include being a vindictive dick who curses people when they don't do what he says. It's one thing to reap consequence, like, oh, I don't know, you're a base jumper all your life, and one day your chute doesn't open and you die. That's different. Reaping consequence from your action of free will is different than God being a dick about it and cursing you because you sinned, which is what, you know, he did to Job. Job is a perfect testament against God. The God. There's no way you can believe in Job and be a good person, period. You can't. That entire book is so fucked up. And I have heard Mormons do all kinds of like song and dance about how it's not to be taken literally and blah, 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 blah. Just like, you know, King Solomon saying, comparing women's breasts to pomegranates, that was like, you know, porn in the Bible that was not inspired according to Joseph Smith. He must have received that revelation while he was fucking the 14-year-old that lived with him and his wife. I'm sorry, you got me talking about religion. I didn't get you talking about anything. You got yourself talking. You know what? You're right. Guilty as charged. Rant and recover. I might have to put that in my notification next time. Rant and recovery stream. I gotta get in before the rain starts. Yes, I'm gonna clean my garage. I don't want to hear it. I know somebody already said it. I'm quite certain one of you must have said it. You know what? I didn't turn my thing off. Bad me. Heart rate 97. I'm not even doing anything. 51K. Average 20 miles an hour. 20K per inch. 230 minutes. You know what? You know what's funny? 4 kilometers per hour it gives me an extra half an hour off the time. That's it. I guess that's significant. It's not nothing. I feel like I'm talking like I had extra coffee or something, but I didn't. All right, V8 time. I should go home and hang my mic instead. Unlike other drinks, this is one you shake. Gulp ASMR. And a religion rat. I mean, what else are we gonna do? We're biking for 4 hours, 2.5 hours. Sounds like Fallout. Rant and recover, yeah. Maybe that could be our, we could put that on merch. Yeah. Rant and recover. Rant, recover, repeat. Rant, recover, repeat. There's my baby. God, I love you, Dom. I love Nina, too. Nina was awesome, but I love you more. I'm not gonna lie. I left you for a younger model. I left her for a younger model. I did. I did. And yeah. I don't know what else to say. Hi, that's me there. Hi. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to you guys here. I should put a mirror in here so keep calm and rant on. Yes. We're going to have a blunt. Yes. Yes. We're going to make time for that. Hey Pixel, find me a guided all-road ride or some kind of adventure for 2026. 2026 I want to go to Colorado and do something. Yeah, I'm not even kidding. I want to find. I've been like planning out my trips for the next like 5 years already. Like I'm trying to think about what I want to do, you know. So I think that would be fun. Where's 300? Whether the disc brakes are new? Yeah. Matt Roscoe hanging up there. I love that thing. It was only 1,600. I mean, that's a lot, but for mountain bikes, that's nothing. Brand new aluminum. You got any seconds? Yes, Pixel. Me too.
Text to speech enabled.
I'm just like trying to motivate you guys to get into shape so you can do shit with me. Stop. Sorry, I should not swear. God does not like swearing. Then why did God make swear words? I don't know if God made swear words. That might be pushing it. Time to raid somebody. Wait, rant, recover, and raid.
For the future, I would like to ride Bangkok to Singapore. It's only 1,100 miles.
Oh, that'd be fun. God, that would be fun. One night in Bangkok and your dream. Yeah, we could go have one night in Bangkok. Take a lot of penicillin or something. Hey, look, there's us. There's my really intense stream of the... I'm trying to... Hey, look, there's airplane. I'm trying to see if you can see. Can you see? How's that? It's like I'm a ghost. I'm a ghost. That's kind of cool.
Infinity mirror.
Infinity mirror, yes. Alright, who are we gonna raid? I can't raid me. Rusty Rhymes is in the kitchen. Food and drink. Oh, Celsius doing another cardio thing. We raided him yesterday. Oh, he's got a weight vest on. This dude's like serious. He's serious. April Anonymous is in New York. Pancake Day. Dynamite Twins. They're so funny. They're in New York. They are pretty funny.
MK is live too.
Okay, who is? Is she? Oh, right. Is, guys, is, what's her face live? My favorite, musician? Emily McVicker? Is Emily on? I wonder if she's on. I don't even think I'm following her. I should probably start following her. Chef Steve, he's awesome, man.
M_K Chick MK.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
she is.
Oh, she is? Okay, I'm gonna go raid her. She's usually on right now. I haven't raided her in a long time, so like, who the hell are you? I need to change my name back, because nobody knows who I am. They don't know who I am. Like, who's Artibix Fun? Sorry. Home, live clips follow. Do. Stream IRL, stream
Just
games.
raid and say, hi, I am Rob.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I gotta raid her. Raid channel. I don't think I'm following her actually. I think that's the reason. You want to ask about Portland? Emily CC is on. Emily Marie. Emily McVickers. She was like yawning. Start raid. Will you guys please make sure to tell her it's me? I usually raid with more people. I usually have like 20, 30, 40 people. I barely have like 9. Oh, Jalape's on?
Callipy.
Is it Jalopy or Callipy? Everybody's coming home from work. Bringing all their tools. I'm putting my tools away. Jalape's actually on? I feel bad I didn't raid him. Should I cancel and raid him? I should cancel. Cancel raid. Cancel raid. Raid channel. Jalopy Jones playing pool. Start raid. He's playing pool outside.
Callipy cones.
That's not his name.
Yay.
Yeah, hopefully it'll go through. I'll get a chance to raid him. All 5 people will get to raid him. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. 51
Enjoy
seconds.
your night.
Yeah, you know what? It's only 7. It's kind of early. It's weird to think that it's going to be 6 o'clock at this time next week.
Tell Doris I say hi.
Yeah, hopefully she's home. I don't know if she's home yet or not. We're going to go find out. Say hi to Doris. I would make her dinner if I had some. I don't do that because sometimes she can't eat what I make. I make her the best popcorn ever. You know what the secret to popcorn is? Cook it with ghee. Cook popcorn in the oil popper with ghee, which is butter. You've got to try it. It's so good. It is so good. All right, bye. Tell Jalopy hi. I'm not raiding. I'm not going. I'm gonna go up. Bye. Bye.
Text to speech disabled.